I'm a psychologist, and this video is a follow-up to a video I made called Choosing to be Single Will Ruin Your Life. In that video, I attempted to provide to you an explanation for my theory that on the balance of probabilities, between choosing to be single and being in a healthy relationship, being in a healthy relationship is generally better for you than being single. And in this video, I want to provide some additional points to really hammer that point home, that for those that are choosing to be single because they prefer autonomy and freedom, you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of reduction in lifespan. To be honest, there's an 85-year-old study from Harvard University that tracked people across 85 years of life and found that being in a healthy relationship was the single strongest predictor of longevity. But anyway, people don't believe that, and if they don't, well, that's the research. I want to provide to you some more points to really think about it. So think about it like this. Let's say you're a person in your late 20s, early 30s, and you're choosing to be single. Over time, you are going to experience what's called a wealth gap because your ability to generate income will be slower than two individuals in a relationship. So over the course of your 30s to 45, there'll be an increasing divide between couples who are in a relationship who are pooling their resources and a single person choosing freedom and autonomy. And this might over time result in you being permanently locked out of home ownership and potentially enduring unnecessary financial struggle across your entire lifespan, because as everyone's income goes up, inflation also goes up to match that. So ultimately things kind of equal out in the long run. You will always be at an advantage on a single income versus dual income. What then is also important to note is that over time we start to see an aging population, obviously, and people get older, and the burden of taking care of the elderly tends to fall on the child. So if you are a single person taking care of your elderly parents, well, you're going to be burdening that emotional and financial labor by yourself. And what will probably end up happening in the future is if America's political polarization continues, I suspect what will happen is liberal women will be voting for intensive social security policy to alleviate the burden of taking care of the elderly by themselves. So you might see increasing levels of taxation being diverted to taking care of the aging population, which will put an additional strain on all of society, resulting possibly in Gen Z having to work well into their 70s and 80s to sustain the tax burden of all the elderly transferring to state-based care. And the last point I'll briefly cover is that as you age, your chances of your close network passing away increase. So there's a very high chance that over the course of 50 to 60, 70 years, you might experience substantial loneliness as you get closer towards the end of life period. And that coupled with having less wealth accrued over the course of your lifetime, if you're a single person, combined with having to take care of the elderly and being alone to do that, will result in the apparent prime years in many ways when you've accrued all this wealth and you're supposed to retire, will actually just probably end up being taking care of your family alone with barely any money. Just something to think about, everyone. Think about the future, like 50, 60 years in the future. Unless things change. I mean, robots and AI might change this. So I will be corrected if robots and AI change all of this. But as it stands, it's unlikely that in the current trajectory, it's not going to end well in the end of life period. So, fix those social skills, everybody. It'll really help you.